Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
And I'm CJ.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and CJ's here with us today. Yay!
Yeah, no, we did so great on that last episode I was on, and we're definitely not feeling
I know, we were only down like 10 views.
Yeah.
So we figured, why not double down on it?
Guys, we had an entire person request him return.
Yeah, that's right.
Was it CJ's mom? Or was it just CJ?
CJ
Please have me back.
Yeah.
Guys,
So
I'm
anyways,
so bored on Sunday.
today we've got a little bit of news. Then we got, first we've got games we played, Dan.
There
Please
we
calm
go.
down. Games we played.
Yep.
Then we got a tiny bit of news. And then crowdfunding.
Yep.
So Kickstarter, game found.
Yep.
And then our top 5 list. So our top 5 favorite themes in games this week. So
I got a little weird with this, but I have game
whoops.
examples to say. So.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to try
Just-
to weigh heavily on.
In all fairness, though, mine might be way less weird than your guys's. I don't know. I
I don't know. Tim gets real weird with it sometimes.
He does.
Hey, look, when
I
you
want
ask
our
me-
weird list.
I want games about cows and landmines specifically.
Specifically. What's your favorite game?
Hold on. You guys, we were doing a list about the strangest games that you could find, and I found some pretty strange ones.
Found some strange ones.
I did.
Yep.
Okay,
So-
so games we played.
I only have one.
Me too.
High Noon.
I have two.
I've got a few, but go ahead and go first.
Well, mine's just the big one I want to talk about. We finally got a game played of Blood on the Clocktower.
Yep, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
terrible only because the person running it was awful.
Yeah,
but
thanks, buddy.
all the
Other than
other
that, it
players
worked
were
out
really
pretty
good.
good.
Thanks,
Yeah.
buddy.
Actually, no, it was a pretty awesome experience. Please continue.
I loved it.
It stinks.
As the storyteller, I had a fantastic time. I did a couple things out of order first night. Didn't affect the game, though, I don't think. And we did have some very strange moves by the good team, but they wound up
Losing.
Good.
maybe winning. Who knows? Watch the video. Yeah, just weird moves. Like Jeff from day one knew who the minion was and was sitting on that information for 3 days. And I was like, this is weird. This is a very strange move.
He's never going to tell.
Yeah, and then Tim was the
never
only
tell.
one who was like brave enough to try to vote, to get people executed because you got to start doing that. And he was dead
'Cause I play werewolf.
so he couldn't.
Right.
So the whole first 2 days there was no execution. So we could have probably cut an hour off of that game if people had just started executing, but every single player was new.
And we've
including
also
me.
established that Dan's
Everyone.
wife is a liar.
She was a good
She
guy,
lied
though.
to everyone.
She did lie to everyone, but I will say, in her defense, again, you'll notice this instantly in the video. She is probably the most, if not second most, she's the most important role to protect on the good guys team.
Sure.
So her lying about her role made perfect sense to me. I understand that threw off some information, but it did make perfect sense. I'm just saying.
If
She's a
only
liar.
you would have just broken out the shotgun and started executing people. This game would have gone
And
faster.
Spencer's also a liar, but that's fine too.
That one is true. But no,
Spencer.
fantastic game overall. I was worried that one team was really running away with it, but it came down to basically the last night, which is what you always want.
Yeah.
So it wound up being pretty balanced, I think, in the end overall, mainly due to some weird gameplay mistakes that happen here and there. Not mistakes, choices. Weird choices.
Right.
Like Spencer going up to someone who's not the demon day one and saying, "Hi, I'm a minion." Bold move, Cotton.
Did not pay off.
But fantastic time. Hopefully that'll be uploaded same week as this video at some point. I don't know which one's coming first, but actually I believe Blood on the Clock will be up first, so it should already be up first. So you'll get to check that out. It will be a 2-hour video. I suggest checking it out if you're interested in the game because it does show the game at least.
Dan will go in and put in tags. This is where they screwed up here.
Yeah. I do like doing that. Did you
second
see my
screw
tag on the last video?
Second screw.
Tim's incorrect corrections.
Nice.
So guys, Blood on the Clock, if that interests you, we finally got to play it. We'll be doing more soon. If you're following us on our Facebook page, I will say, hey, looking for players. That's what we did last time. We were able to pick up one through the Facebook. So check that out.
And
if you wish.
And there have been people that have expressed interest in upcoming games. So we're going to.
I've actually had multiple people say, could we play tonight to me already? And I don't think that's going to be happening, but I'll shoot for next week and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, sounds great.
Yeah.
What'd you play?
I got another playthrough of After the Empire.
Yep.
It was a good time. It took about 2 hours. I was still teaching, and there was a bathroom break and an animal bathroom break in there. So in reality, it was probably an hour and a half gameplay.
Right on.
And that I think will be cut down even more once we actually start doing everything simultaneously.
Sure.
So a few times you still got to walk everybody through some things, but there's a
Yes.
lot of things that can be done simultaneously.
Yeah, basically half the game is simultaneous if you
Yeah.
know what you're doing. So
Exactly. Yeah,
Sweet.
but it was a ton of fun though, and my friend was like, this game is really good. And I was
Nice.
like, yeah, because it's nice because you're working on your own thing. Nobody's really messing with you. Or you can kind of jump to a worker placement and grab all the quarry.
Yeah, there's
stone,
definitely hate draft.
things like that.
I call it hate draft.
Yeah.
I know it's worker placement. But
Sure. But as far as like dealing with like the meat of it, where everything's coming at you and you're trying to, that's all on your own. Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, no, you're gonna kill off your 5 guys on that wall and now deal with that rush of guys. No, nobody's messing with you that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun though.
I could see an expansion though coming out eventually. That's like
Where you could do
spies
or
something where you like
steal somebody's movement points.
yeah,
or
you like
that.
infiltrate their castle and damage it and stuff like that. Like I
yeah.
can see that kind of stuff. That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of neat.
We'll see what
It could
happens.
add something to it. But let's say right now, like, there are a lot of games where there's a lot of take that and like messing with somebody's hands. One of the things I don't like about DC so many times is that by the time it comes down to my turn, I'm down to like 1 card in my hand. I'm like, okay, my turn's over. You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
And being able to do your own thing without being messed with is
No, yeah,
is
I
nice.
definitely don't think it needs it. It feels really nice. Like I said, I love the catch-up mechanics and everything in this game. They're so well done. I like that it feels like the most skillful person wins because you're not, like no take that and stuff, right? It's whoever can really put their castle together and does their defense together best. I have very few things I dislike about this game, and I wouldn't even use the word dislike. I have very few things I don't love about this game.
Sure.
I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get a review up for that soon. So keep an eye out.
Yeah, we need to get one
Yeah,
out.
we need a couple more people to play.
A couple more people like within our group to play. Because I play with like a bunch of randos, not randos to you.
Right. Sure.
Yep.
But yeah.
No, I'm dying to play it now because I feel like the teach will go really fast.
Yep.
And it just looks awesome.
Yeah,
like,
it looks really cool.
Components wise, and just the way like it's sitting on the table. I mean, it just looks like a badass game.
And it's it's unique. It has table presence. Like seriously, this thing's hitting on all cylinders.
Checks a lot of boxes, right?
Yeah.
So we played High Noon.
Yep.
Which we'll cover more in the Kickstarter segment.
Sure.
But
and
that
we
is
also have a Kickstarter preview that will be up at some point. Right there.
Up there, over CJ's head.
Hi, right here.
Right there. Oh, hold that thing up. I've been playing a lot of Blood Rage Digital.
Okay.
I've been seeing that.
I've got that on
Yeah,
there.
I get your messages. That game sucks. Every time I'm playing it. And
Well,
you
Dan
see,
always says that, though.
Dan's like, this game sucks.
Yep.
And
I'm
then
just saying we could be playing so many other things together, and instead you'd rather play
I know,
with
right?
an
We
AI.
could play Axis and Allies together on
I'm
there.
trying to. I don't own Access and Allies on there.
Not yet.
It's like, what,
Oh.
$5?
I will gift it to you.
I guarantee you that can change.
That's right.
But it's been kind of fun. I mean, the Steam version is a very good implementation of the board game.
It looks
plays-
awesome like the root
plays
style,
well.
where it has like animations during the fighting.
A little bit.
I saw some cinematics.
But it is really just a direct
Sure.
Like, yeah.
translation
Yep.
without being
Which is what I enjoy
just
that.
like Tabletop Simulator, right? Where you can just
Correct.
accidentally do wrong things. It won't let you do the wrong thing.
Sure. Yeah. It is a program.
I wish that it would let you take some stuff back because
Right.
sometimes I do things and I'm like,
Yeah. It's just a gentleman's game.
But I've been
no
using
bending
it.
of the rules.
Yeah.
That's why I only ever want to play digital games with Bob.
Because no take backs.
No take the turn back.
Wow.
but I will say it's fun.
We don't call me
It-
Retcon Bob for nothing. Sorry.
it's fun to get in there and just try to mess with some different strategies.
Sure.
And try some things
That's a
out.
great
Chance to
way
try
to
some
learn
things
the
you
game.
wouldn't normally do.
But not that I haven't played Blood Rage enough. But anyways, then also I've been playing Smallworld digitally.
Oh, okay.
Smallworld's
I
really
have
good.
Smallworld digital.
Oh.
All right. Welcome to the video board game rundown.
Solid.
That one
A match
is
is made
very.
every-
Now that one is very like you're just playing the board game, like you're just like
Yep.
dragging pieces.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yep. And then I've been playing Ascension,
Okay.
the deck builder,
Yeah.
also on the app.
Digitally.
Ooh.
Well, the problem is with the
Look at this
Ascension.
guy.
Here's my only problem with Ascension is I bought all the app stuff. Like I bought all the expansions and everything
Yep.
on the app. Now I just don't want to.
Buy it again.
I'm too cheap to go out and just buy it and get all the physical copies
Nice.
together
Yeah.
because some of it you got to like track down, and everything.
Ooh.
But I really love that game. It's a really good deck builder. I really like Ascension a lot.
Yeah.
But
So speaking of Ascension, the Ascension Tactic is supposed to be shipping soon.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, they
So-
just
They have to close the
they
pledge
just
manager
closed their pledge manager, right, for their their
Sounds
late
like
orders.
a news segment kind of thing.
down. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
we're
well.
kind of almost there. We're segueing-ish.
Kind of almost. I love it.
And then this will segue into, I guess, from games we played to news. Is
What about CJ's games he's played?
oh CJ?
Ow.
I
exist.
My mistake. Bob got me off track.
I know. I started segueing when
See,
we weren't
what
ready
the
for
problem
that.
is that once Tim gets on a roll, everybody's afraid to stop him.
Yeah.
These guys are not afraid.
Not
of it.
afraid.
You
Well,
are just being respectful because
stop.
this is
I'm
your
just a
second
nice
time.
person. Ha! That's funny. Anyway,
Cool.
yeah. So obviously the games I played are my weekly games of 40K and Age of Sigmar, and now BattleTech is in that rotation.
Yeah.
We had a really awkward moment when teaching a couple weeks ago. where, all right, cool. You're finally in range. I've got my Warhammer with my 2 extended range particle cannons. What's the first thing I do to the new kid? I crit him right in the torso, and I not only do I hit him in the torso, but I blow up all the ammo that's in his mech's torso, which blows up the mech, and I'm like, we're going to take that back.
Thanks for playing.
Is this the second time this has happened, or have you already told me this story?
I think I might have told you the story already.
I was like, this sounds familiar.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's the second time. Okay, well, cut all that out. But we had a really good team game between me, 2 Intersphere players, and 1 clan player. There were 4 Intersphere mechs on either side. So that's 8 total, and then we got 2 clan mechs, and we could not kill one of them for the life of us.
With your 8, you couldn't kill one?
Well, I mean, it was technically a 1v1v1.
Sure.
And there was a little bit of firepower between the 2 Intersphere guys, you know. But we finally came to Détente, and we were just hammering. And granted, he brought in a 100-ton direwolf.
Okay.
So, which is about the biggest, baddest, nastiest thing you can bring.
Sure.
If you're a clan player. And we're just like, we just can't. We're hosing him with missiles. We're hitting him with. And then he fell in a hole, and then he fell over, and we still couldn't kill him. Wow. And we started playing at 6 o'clock. It was 8:30, and I was like, I have a game to go run, so I gotta get out of here.
Wow.
And we're like, yeah, we stripped all the armor off of like his center torso, and we're like, yes, got him. Nope. And then every single shot just hit literally everywhere else. Yeah.
Oof. That's brutal.
Yeah,
it is.
That is brutal. You need to play GKR with us.
I know. I'm gonna do it.
That game is right up your alley.
We'll do that after we play Galaxy Hunters.
Yeah.
And the last game I played was Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
I started a new campaign with my friends. Ended up almost killing one of them by with a shark.
Are you playing 5th edition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just started getting. This would have been. Is this 3rd or maybe 3.5?
Oh yeah.
Some of the old source books. I've got some of the books, but I was getting some of the old source books for the Birthright campaign.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, Birthright's amazing. You're basically playing as blooded scions of this kingdom, Sorelia.
Yeah.
And like there was this big battle between the gods, and everybody that fought, like all your ancestors that were fighting there. There was one big blast that killed everybody, like the gods.
Yeah.
And their power washed down through the mountain. Think of like a shockwave from a nuclear bomb. And then all of those people then
absorb some of that power.
Some of that power from like the
like
god of Halen
good
and things like that. Right.
It's a good Pompeii.
Good Pompeii. Except if you got the blood of Azrai, which was the dark one that they were all fighting, then bad Pompeii. So like
normal Pompeii.
Yeah.
they turn into what they call in the game Onshalan, and these are like people that their bodies morph like depending on their personalities. So there was a Goblin King fighting on the side of Azrai. He turned into the spider. So it's like a goblin body coming, or torso and head and arms coming out of like a spider's.
It's
Drider.
a goblin drider. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Cool.
there's there's a sea serpent and a kraken and there's chimera and there's all kinds of awesome stuff. But you are descendants, and so your birthright.
That's the name.
Is tied to the land because you are a blooded, literally. So it's not just like some BS thing where it's like, oh, you're of royal blood. It's like, no, actually, I am of royal blood, and it gives you certain powers depending on what you got. And the setting's awesome. I've been like trying to scoop up some.
Yeah, start
like,
a D&D campaign where you're not just normal guy number 6. You're
right.
like, no, you should know my name.
And there's stuff for there's rules for actually running your country and generating money and
running your kingdom
and running your guilds.
That was the coolest thing you said.
Yep.
I agree. All of a sudden, Dan's interesting.
I still enjoyed Dark Sun. I think Dark Sun's like
Dark Sun is so good. Yeah.
Hey, I actually have something to pitch for you then.
Ooh, okay.
So this is completely unrelated, and this is not a paid promotion by any stretch. There is a D&D podcast called Dieselpunk, which you might be familiar. Well, no. The last campaign that they just finished is a modified Dark Sun.
Oh wow!
So, but they've been going through. They started off in regular D&D, and they did like a Shadowrun campaign, and then a Spelljammer campaign.
Oh, Spelljammer!
Yeah, and then they did a Planescape campaign, and then this last one they just
Planescape's cool too.
Yeah,
and I've also been picking up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the old Palladium source books for like after the bomb, mutants in Avalon, things like that. So it gives you basically rules how to roll up, like mutate animals.
Nice.
And then
Sweet.
It's from like the early 90s. And I'm like, I'm going to get some of these books.
Good. Copyright.
But something we've been doing, and I'm going to do a few more of them as it arises. I've been doing some unboxings in my basement. And my boy has been guest starring.
And next week we'll let out Spencer.
But no, I finally got because I talked about it a ton this time last year. Fast Sloths.
Oh yeah.
By Freeman Freeze.
Yeah,
the game I've been dying
funny.
to get.
Yeah.
Where you're the sloth. It's a pick up and deliver game, but you are getting animals to pick up and deliver you because you're a sloth and you're lazy.
But you still want to see the zoo.
But you want to see everything, so you got to get these animals to carry you around, and so then you get all your leaves from the different locations, and you just got to be the first one to do it.
So
anyways, looks awesome. Can't wait to play it. And also finally got my hands on a copy of Judge Dredd Helter Skelter, which is the Wildlands rules with Judge Dredd. And so
skin,
with the Judge Dredd skin. So I feel like now I've just added 4 more factions to my Wildlands and 2 more maps.
Can you mix them then?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, they play a simple. The artwork's fantastic. Theme's amazing. The miniatures are freaking awesome, and they come pre-shaded, so they look really good.
Yeah,
Jeff, I'm going to need you to cut in with I Am the Law. You can do not that one.
I Am the Law.
I was going to say you can either do the Judge Dredd 95 or you can do the 2012 Dredd.
I need the Carl Urban Dredd.
What does it just go like?
And I don't want Rob Schneider jumping out of a trash robot with spaghetti on his head.
Why not?
I know it's going to be the clip you're going to play specifically. More with the Stallone with the Gucci design. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
so bad.
Big old crotch piece on that one.
But the Carl Urban Dredd is such a good movie.
Carl Urban is way underrated.
He made that movie like. He told people on the production design team to no, you can't do this.
Oh yeah, sure.
He makes every movie though.
Yeah.
I think it was his idea to never take his helmet off.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Mama is not the law. I am the law.
He's so good.
Judgment time. It was like, he's scary.
Yep, Carl Urban, good guy. Is that
and
it?
a Kiwi. All right, so Kickstarters.
Kickstarters. You got your news already? Is that what your
That's news.
That was your
My
news?
news was, hey,
your news was you're
we're doing
getting
some unboxings.
Oh, well,
okay.
I
wanna
guess
play these
technically in
games.
news, you got Galaxy Hunters. So
Galaxy Hunters.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
shipping
news,
now.
it delivered.
Super fast Kickstarter.
Technically in news.
Yep. That's it.
In news.
In news.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Kickstarter. What you got?
Kickstarters.
I got 2.
Crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding. Mine are
Thank you.
specifically from Kickstarter.
I've got 2 that I want to mention. But I'm going to save one because it's a longer one. I'll save it for next week.
Okay, Spencer.
Okay. I know. I got 9 that I want to go through.
Yeah.
Meeples and Monsters.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
I had
cool.
my eye on this one for a little bit.
Yeah. Alderac Entertainment Group.
Yeah,
it's a bag builder.
AEG.
Yeah.
Show
I
off.
saw
You're gonna
Bag
say the whole
Builder and
thing.
I was like, Bob will talk about that eventually.
Yep, yeah. So it looks super cool, but the nice thing, and like Tim will like, there's one pledge level. $49, get you everything.
Best.
Oh,
best
yeah,
thing
no,
ever.
I'm with that now.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
so you get these little meeples, you put them in your bag, and you're building them up, and that's it. Yeah. Looks pretty straightforward.
I can dig
I like bag building. It's fun.
Bag building's fun.
Yeah,
it's an underused really good mechanic.
Like Orleans, looking forward to Sniper Elite.
I was gonna say you better message me. You better message me. I don't care if I'm at work.
Yeah.
You message me the second I can get something, I'm like, peace.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'm really good. It's the Rona. I gotta go. So, yeah.
Right on.
Meeples and Monsters. It looks kind of fun. Like the meeples are all like silk screened and whatnot.
You got one you're excited about?
Well, sure. I mean, you know. So I had my eye on because of the box art, right? I always said if the name and the box art are interesting, that's what makes me click on it.
Yeah.
And then I pick one out of those.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So Theurgy. Right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Theurgy looked so cool to me. I like that box. I like the idea. It's the area control game of monsters and miracles by the Ministry of Meeples. It was on Kickstarter before and was canceled.
Okay.
And now it's up again. But it's a 1 to 6 player area control game going till March 31st. I'm just going to start saying the date now. So going
That's a
till
good idea.
March
Could say like
31st.
5 days. Like
Yeah.
old.
5 days. What's
Relevant.
5 days? Who knows?
From $54 to $96. There are more expensive ones than that, but I just always ignore those because it's like the get 4 copies of the game kind of thing, right? And shooting for September 2022. So this game not only looks pretty, but the theme is so interesting to me. So you're all half-forgotten gods, it says, who are trying to basically reinvigorate your religion in people and get them to join your side again. and so that's the area control. Is you're fighting to control the cubes, the people on the board, right, and turn them into your color. So you start with 2 acolytes and a couple followers, and basically the game is you're playing cards, which could be like powerful creatures, miracles, and stuff like that, to convince people and build temples for you. And so like this area might have 5 gray cubes on it. If I can convince them to follow me, they'll slowly start turning to like blue cubes, right? And then my religion starts spreading.
Yeah.
And then you can start convincing them, no, not that one, me, right? And you might turn the blue cube to a green cube, right? And that's the area control, is turning all these. It's like that old It's like that old paint game, right?
Hard
Where
to
you
change
like
ethnicities.
you know, paint everything your color, like in the old skateboarding Tony Hawk games that used to be a thing, right? And like
or
those,
Splatoon.
Splatoon, yeah.
Splatoon.
You know, those kind of things.
Yeah, when you were talking about that, I was thinking of the Age of Empires. Like, nope, I'm just going to send the priest over here, and he's going to go, and then the guy's going to change color, and it'll be mine.
Exactly.
It sounds a lot like Black and White, if you guys ever played that game.
Heard of, never played.
Okay, well, Jeff's nodding because he's a man of culture.
But
yeah, we are but savage.
If that theme looks interesting to you, the components look awesome. Check out
Theurgy?
I believe I looked it up. I believe it is Theurgy.
I believe you are correct.
As a mystic, like the D&D class Mystic Theurge.
Okay.
Which
But
is a combination
it
cleric
looked
and
awesome to me.
mage.
Check it out. That's it. End of discussion. Period.
Oh, yeah.
No one else can talk now.
Just put a period on that one.
All right.
Thank you for watching. I've been Dan.
Okay. CJ, you got a Kickstarter you're excited about?
No, all the Kickstarters I think I already talked about the Monster Hunter one that
Sure.
you guys
Yeah, so
pointed to me at. And I'm
Monster Hunter is going to actually launch in April.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on that now.
And that's your company that did Dark Souls. Who is that?
Steamforged.
Steamforged.
It's not. Is it?
I think it's Steamforged.
Oh, that I don't know.
Maybe.
think
I don't remember.
Steamforged.
I remember we
Steamforged
talked about
was
who it
doing
was.
Monster
I'm sure Tim will
I don't
address that in
remember, though.
corrections next episode.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll. Yeah.
It probably is because it has a lot of it has a lot of the same mechanics, so it probably
Okay.
is.
It might be.
Okay. So High Noon right now
Yep.
is
Kickstarter.
on Kickstarter. It is funded.
Yep.
It's going to go for like a month. So even when this drops,
It's
I
like
don't
really
have
well funded.
Plenty of
too.
time
I
left.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't have the date.
2+ player skirmish game.
Yeah, 2 to 4
Two to
skirmish.
infinite.
2 to infinite.
Technically.
Calm down, Dan.
I love that box.
There's a bunch of expansions on there. The interesting thing about this is that for $52, if you back it, since it's funded, as soon as the campaign ends, they're going to send you. If you're within the first 4,000 backers,
Right, and I
they're
don't
going to
know how many
send
there
you.
are, so.
They're going to send you a core game.
Yeah,
right away,
which is cool.
which is pretty neat. There for $97, you can get Bullets and Brandy, which is an expansion. So that's 2 more factions in addition to the base game. Or you can, for $130, do Metal and Money. That gets you Bullets and Brandy, Metal and Money, and there's a like a $300 like all in, and then you can pick a couple other things to add on.
It gives you deck boxes to organize everything with.
Upgraded
components, and then they also will like eat up to $40 of the shipping.
Oh, cool.
That's sweet.
So that's kind of a neat thing that they do.
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's cool.
But
I linked to it earlier in the video, so if you see that little white and black eye in the top there, if you click on it again, it'll bring up. You can click and watch a more in-depth discussion on High Noon.
Sure.
Yeah. It's also important to note that these are pastiches of classic Wild West characters.
Yeah.
So they're Native Americans.
Yeah.
There are
there's like
bandits.
Union
there's
Army
a gang.
guys. There's there's the not James gang. There's the cops.
Yeah.
So
And the Rough Riders.
There's a side game you can play where you try and figure out who these people are supposed to be.
That game's not very difficult.
It's
Right.
That's obviously Teddy Roosevelt there. That's
Right.
It was weird to see the Native American Christopher Walken, though.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, Jeff, for pointing that out.
Yes. But yeah, so High Noon, it's doing really well. They were nice enough to send us a copy, so we were able to play it.
Yeah, preview it.
And for a first time out like tactical skirmish game, I think it's got a lot of promise. I think they could do a lot of things with it. They got good bones, really good bones.
Yeah, great bones. Yeah, for sure.
So what's your next Kickstarter?
Well, I don't know if you were going to talk about this or not. But by the time this airs on Gamefound, Petersen Games will have launched their 4-game little thing going on. You have Invasion of the Brood, Marry the Monster, Potions and Profits, and Evacuate. And they're all different. So, yeah, you get on Gamefound. You can look at them all, check them out. There's like a day and a half left before it launches.
Right.
So by the time this is out, it's out.
It's out.
Yeah.
So go to Gamefound. Big fan of Petersen Games stuff anyways.
Yep.
These are not all designed by Sandy Petersen, but there are people that work for
Under the
Petersen
umbrella.
Games. Yeah, under the umbrella. I think there was like an Arthur Petersen design in there.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're a big fan. Like Evil Eye Priest. I mean, we've had a lot of good experiences.
A lot of good
Unlocking
experiences with
Insanity,
Petersen games.
Planet Apocalypse.
Yeah, was Call of the Deep
Cthulhu
Petersen
Wars.
games?
Huh?
Call of the Deep? No, it's not Cthulhu game.
No.
Not Petersen games.
Nope.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Yep.
What's up?
You got another Kickstarter?
No, that's it.
What? There's one with amazing box art
Yeah, so talk about
and
it.
a great title.
I knew you were going to talk about it.
Okay. CJ, did you have anything else?
Nope.
Before I go? Okay. I was in from the word go with just the title of this game.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It was the one I was
So
going to save.
you've been eaten.
Yeah.
I mean, the art looks great
Oh,
too.
right.
Well,
this
yeah,
one,
you guys
I
were
did
talking
see
about
that.
this on Facebook, so I knew you were going to talk
Yeah,
about this one.
that's what
I couldn't even resist. That's
I was
like
gonna,
how,
gonna hold it till next week because it's
No,
got
yeah.
like 20 some days left on it. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
trust me, this is such a Dan. That name
the name is
this is a
hilarious.
Dan.
It's a Dan
This is a
name
Dan
game.
game. Houston,
Yeah.
we have
So
a
you've been
dolphin.
eaten.
Yeah, yeah.
That is still the best.
Yeah, Houston,
Yeah.
we have a dolphin.
Yeah.
That is a game that I'm gonna have to track down eventually. I don't care if it's terrible. I just want that
seems
box
cool.
title
Oh,
on
yeah.
my shelf.
Right.
But yeah, so you've been eaten, and I think the tagline also is like, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually part of the job.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
maybe that's it.
So that's the thing is, so you're like a galactic miner. So you're trying to mine these crystals out of like a worm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
crystals are in.
You
Like
find
think of
yourself-
think of the worm from Empire Strikes Back.
I was gonna say, you
like
find
they
yourself in
parked
Empire
the Millennium
Strikes
Falcon.
Yeah.
But instead of the bats eating through your power cables,
Mine-
You're in there
Minox.
mining out. Yeah.
Chewing on the
Instead
power
of the Minox
cables.
chewing on the
That's
power
right.
cables. But anyway, so
This is no cave.
you are you're basically you're rappelling down through this monster trying to get the precious crystals
Minerals.
out,
Mm-hmm.
and your track is just you're basically just going down till you come out the other end. Your goal is to meet the quota for your company. If you do, they will extract you early.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you make
gotta
it
go
all the way
all
to
the
the
way
bottom,
through.
you got to go all the way through, and then they judge you. There's like a chart to judge how well you did based on
Yeah.
what you got. But while this is happening, there are bacteria
And other things coming at
and
you.
other things that live
Antibodies and.
Gut flora.
trying to eat you.
Gut
Yeah.
flora.
So you got to survive that. So this game is really interesting because it's 1v1.
Yep.
So you
Well,
can
it's weird 'cause it's up to 2 players, 1 player, or you play no players.
no players.
Yeah.
Right. So you can play as the miner.
Yep.
And then the AI is the beast. You
Yep.
can play as the beast and the AI as the miner. Or
Okay.
if you
Play
just
the-
want to, you
how
can
it works
run
out.
both AIs against each
That's
other and
hilarious.
sit
Yeah,
and watch
yeah,
them.
it says 0
I
v
didn't know
0.
that. This notebook is a 0-player game.
And
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
fun because in the
All right, and
0v0
go.
in the 0v0 section, they're like, no, this game doesn't just set up and play itself. You have to actually.
We've been
But
lied
if you
to.
really wanted
Dinger.
to, you could run both AIs against
Yeah,
each other.
that's-
It's
and
pretty funny. Yeah.
Just watch.
I thought that was super
I
unique.
wouldn't take the time to do that, but that's
Right.
hilarious.
It's cool that it's a.
I might
option.
like if you played through a game real quick
Yeah.
and it had gone.
It's still set up, and you're like, let's see how it goes.
yeah. But I mean, it seems. I don't know. It's really unique. I like
Yep.
the title. I thought the theme was really neat.
Yep.
The artwork looks really cool.
Yep.
There is a.
The map is literally like a digestive track. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you guys ever played Deep Rock Galactic? It's
Yeah.
very similar.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's kind of.
No.
I mean,
Similar art and everything.
similar art style,
Oh, okay.
similar
Okay.
concept of
Maybe
going out and
inspired
mining.
by
It's,
then.
yeah.
But so
You're
it's
not getting eaten
29
in that though.
$29 for the basic version, $39 for a premium, and then $49 for a collector, which has a triple layered board.
just really thick.
I
This
mean,
one comes
I don't
with a
know. I
copper
think it's like
rectum.
dual layered, but then there's triple. I don't know what triple layer is, Bob, but
Crazy.
there
Well,
might be
that-
another layer.
That
Yeah,
B
that's right.
game, that B
Is that
game
just
had
two layer?
triple
It's triple
layer.
I
Okay.
guess you could recess twice. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
This I haven't watched the video for this Kickstarter, right? At the top of the page. I'm really hoping it's like a miner who's like going, and then it does that thing where like something bad happens and the video goes like and it like pauses and then like a British voice goes, "So you've been eaten," right? And it's like one of those like almost like Hitchhiker's
Infomercial.
Guide,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that kind of like pause
Yeah,
and
there
then
we
the voiceover
If
kicks
there's
in.
any justice, it will have Hitchhiker's Guide. Reference to the Galaxy
Oh, yeah.
references.
yeah.
But yeah, that's
You
my
gotta get
last.
a towel to take with you.
Yeah, if you got your towel, you're fine.
Yeah.
But that's my last Kickstarter.
Okay. Yep. That's it.
Okay.
Very good.
That was crowdfunding. Check out those games.
Crowdfunding.
They actually all sound good. What did you say?
What? Meeples and Monsters.
Yeah, they mostly all sound good.
Wow.
I'm not hating on
bad
that one. I just
building.
know the least about it.
Easy.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I played another game. I forgot to tell you guys about it. It's
We're
called.
moved past that though.
Well,
Yeah.
suck it up, Buttercup.
Beginning.
Yeah, the other game I played was sorting out my X-wing stuff from a
Oh,
big
yeah.
pile.
Oh, yeah.
And for that, we are grateful.
Tim played that not too long ago.
Yeah, isn't it great?
I love sorting. Actually, I enjoy
Actu-
sorting games. There's something cathartic about it.
Yeah, it
I
really
still have
is.
a bunch
sleeve
of
cards.
I have a bunch of Dice Master stuff.
Yeah.
Still sleeve.
It's crazy.
Yuck it up, Funny. You're getting a bunch of extra stuff.
I'm almost out of room already.
Good. You deserve it. You deserve to be out of room.
That's what you get.
Hey
All
guys.
right.
So next is our top 5.
Top 5. Top 5 themes. So this was like a fun way to kind of just get away from some of the mechanics or like specific games, but we can just cover like a genre
theme.
Yeah. I got a little abstract with this, but I'm
Wait,
honestly,
but you don't like abstract games.
I'm wondering if I went more abstract than you guys, or not even close to
It'd be
abstract.
interesting
Right?
to see how this.
It's always kind of fun to see how these pan out.
Because
There's
like
snow on the
basically
tile.
we're doing top
There,
5 things, but
exactly.
we're not doing like farming, sci-fi. Instead, we're
Trying to be a
we're
little
getting
more
a little
specific,
bit
a little
weirder
more
with the
granular,
way we
yeah.
word it. Yeah, and so interested to see what people say here as a theme that they sort out.
All right, Bob. And
No pressure.
You're
it's really tough. Hold on.
Okay,
be
okay.
prepared to be judged if you go by if you accidentally incorporate mechanic, because mechanic is not part of the theme.
Nope.
Has to be the theme.
Sure.
So you can be like, hidden trader mechanic.
Sure. You can word that in a way that is easily themed, though.
Yes.
Please do.
I'm
just kidding.
You could.
Go for it.
Theme of traders. My first theme
Uh-huh.
that I
Secret
really
Hitler.
enjoyed. Steampunk.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Steampunk is a really cool theme, and sometimes it's just slapped on. But like when they really implement that theme well,
Right.
like I really enjoy how.
Is
that
there a
works out.
game specifically that is nailed steampunk for you?
Because
I've
Mecha
got-
Arcana is very close. It's tough and tricky, but I do like how you kind of like piece things together and
Did you
whatnot.
ever check out, I think it's called Imaginarium?
No, I haven't checked that out yet.
That's like has a steampunk kind of theme on it, but it's also
Okay.
this weird like mental the cards are like, okay, this is an elephant that's also made out of a gear.
Right.
It's also made out of a lion that's also made out of a skyscraper, and you're like, what is this card?
Oh.
like
Steampunk.
yeah, sure.
But I also
I
think
saw
that
Steam in the background.
there's Steam in the
Yeah, there
background.
you go.
I also think that Steampunk Rally kind of does a pretty good job with it too, because like you're trying to like put all this stuff on your contraption,
so if
and
it's
you're
in the
running
name.
down the down the
Yeah.
thing, and bits are flying off. Like that's.
I mean, things
it's
can be
interesting.
steampunk, like Bob said. They can have a
Just slap it on there. Oh, my guy's wearing goggles.
Sure,
Steampunk.
anything
Right.
can do
You know,
that.
I have gears.
Yeah,
Non-functional
I got a gear
gears.
here. Yeah.
Oh man,
But-
my next game was Gears.
so
Steampunk.
like you, right? Like some of my themes, it's like, man, some of them. It's like I need more games in this because I don't have a lot in this
Right.
theme. They're like really get it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So there, a theme.
So carrying on from steampunk, actually, Dieselpunk or alternative World War I, World War II history,
like
sort of.
Scythe
Yeah.
or Car Wars. Is Car Wars Dieselpunk?
Okay, so Dieselpunk is steampunk, except it takes place in the 20s and the 30s.
Oh, okay.
So you
It's
think
jazz
steam-powered-
Instead
age.
of Victorian, it's
Yes,
Jazz
it's-
Age. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, Jeff, this is gonna make you scream. But Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow
Oh,
is,
sure.
is Dieselpunk. Yeah, Jeff hates that movie because he's lame.
Okay, so he just hates the
pain.
movie.
the movie's
Yeah.
not great, but the story's cool.
The idea, but the theme is awesome.
Yeah, conceptually,
Agreed.
yeah, like that visual. Like
So
the-
does Rocketeer count?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
right
a
on.
great
Yes.
example.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay, so the Rocketeer has an Art Deco helmet, so
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
better freaking count.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm
so
in.
yeah,
I'm in,
like
yeah.
like that, and you can incorporate like Dieselpunk Mechs, and,
Sure.
or like oh no, it's the Kaiser's new special weapon. It's I don't know, it's an elephant with a turd on the back,
Oh, right,
that
right,
sort
right.
of thing. But it's like but
Kind of like
it's
Wild Wild West, where you had like the big spider thing.
yeah,
Ugh.
but Wild Wild West
not
is
talk about-
steampunk writ large,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Badly.
Badly, writ large but poorly. But yeah, Sky Captain. Kind of a lot of the. There was a while where they were trying to get like Spider-Man Noir or any
right.
of the Noir works
Okay.
Yep.
in the Marvel universe is definitely Dieselpunk, but like that.
Sure.
What about that movie where it's got like the cities and the cities like move or whatever, and they're like,
Oh,
"Look, it's
that
coming."
that Peter Jackson movie.
Mortal
Engines.
Mortal Engines.
The movie
There's
that
a reason
proves
why
that
you don't
Hollywood-
know the name of that movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
the movie that proves that Hollywood hates people who actually have facial scars.
Okay.
That's a yeah.
I tried watching it.
Yeah, don't.
I didn't get very
the
far.
books
Better.
matter
Yeah.
to why that movie is dog crap, but that movie is also terrible.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
All right.
But it's that
So
same
Dieselpunk, right on.
Dieselpunk slash, and I have to put this kind of slash in there because you can have mechs in World War I and World War II and not technically be Dieselpunk, but the line is fairly blurry.
Sure. Well, have you played Scythe or seen Scythe?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So Scythe,
yeah.
you would dig. Yep. You would totally dig because it's like this crazy alternate history.
Beautiful art.
Where the
sorry, Katie, the art is beautiful.
all the art, like, so it's like all the art is like in the foreground is just like normal farmers or people, like just people living their lives.
Yeah.
Post World War I.
Yep.
And then you'll see like these old busted down factories in the background or these rusted out mechs.
Yeah, like just blurry in the background. You just see like mechs walking around.
I'll have to get you some of that art. It's really good.
I love it. The game was designed around the artwork.
Yes.
Like Jamie Stegmaier
and somehow it worked well.
Saw the artwork. Well, you took a couple years to actually design it, but it was like, I need to make a game around this.
Yeah.
And it's totally worthy. The artwork is fantastic.
So, and the reason that I dig that so much is that there's a lot of fan art that's very similar to that, but it's of Gundam stuff where like it's like the Zeon forces running across the beach, except there's in black and white, and there's a Zaku in the background just following up along. It's like, yes, this is the aesthetic I crave.
That's what you need.
Just right in there.
Hi.
What you got, Dan?
So my first one again,
Let's see how abstract you are.
Yeah. Well, so again, there were no real.
Dan likes deck builders.
There were no real tethers on this, right? It was just like, let's talk about themes and don't say basic themes. And I was like, okay, so how can I word these in a way?
Can I say space?
Well,
more
no.
specifically.
So how can I? So this first one is interesting because it's almost a catch-all. But this is I word all these as themes in the way that like, if a game came out like this, and I'm like, that grabs me. It's so weird to explain, especially for my number 5 because it's the weirdest one, definitely. My number 5 theme is just if a game comes out with a beloved IP that I love. Like, so I don't care if it's Battlestar Galactica or Star Wars or Firefly. If
Those
it
are
has
all sci-fi.
Sure. If it is a theme that I love, then I just put that all in my brain as this. I'm probably going to buy that game. Right. It is just a
So
IP
your number 5 is
I
just
love.
IP?
Yeah.
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. If it
So,
is
yeah,
an
your
IP
number
that I
5 is
like.
I'm a mark.
Oh, it's an Indiana Jones game.
I don't.
Yeah.
I won't even argue that.
Yep.
Yeah, and because I've been so rarely disappointed is the thing,
sure
right? Battlestar Galactica, almost every Star Wars game I played, the Firefly game. I'm trying to think of more because there are more I have in my
Nemesis is kind of
collection.
aliens theme.
Sure, adjacent,
Dune,
but sure.
Dune Imperium?
Dune Imperium was one I had.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, I wrote some
Right.
down. Yeah, Dune Imperium. Like I have so rarely been disappointed that I just I'm a sucker. A game comes out with an IP I love. And I'm like,
That's
that
fair.
theme is
Man,
great.
you are
fair.
so lucky because
take
every
it.
time I play a game, like a video game with the IPs I love, they
The video games have a hard time
Yeah.
translating.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do.
They do.
So yeah, that's a weird one to word, but that's what I mean.
Yeah,
and because
that's all right.
I get it.
they are a bunch of different themes, sure, but they're all under the umbrella of IP.
IPs.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure,
So that's how I'm wording it. I
Stand by it.
I'm lucky that I haven't been disappointed. I guess is
Sure.
what I'm
Okay.
saying.
No, you are. You are lucky. My number 5 is probably my broadest, but kind of like you.
Sure, that's why it's 5.
And not in a bad way, right? It's cults. Like I love games with cults and cultists, whether you are them or you're fighting them. Like that is a thing that like I can always find really interesting because there's a lot of different things you can do with that, right?
Yep.
Like, I mean, you've got hidden roles with like Cults of the Deep, right? I mean, you've got Evil High Priest where you're playing as cultists and you're trying to summon things.
Right. Arkham Horror games where you're
Arkham
trying to
Horror
stop
games where you're
cultists.
fighting cultists. And it doesn't have to be Cthulhu, right? I just
Correct.
love, and I think,
like that cultist feel, and I think that Theurgy game that he was is almost cultish, right? Where
Yeah.
you're trying to get people to join
Yeah.
your cult. You
and
know?
I think it's because I like horror movies, you know.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of horror movies that I tend to gravitate to have like weird cults and things going on and stuff. And I just find that stuff fascinating. Anyways, so cults is my number 5. If you can have a good game built with that theme in there, working for Kingsport Festival, you know what I mean? Like just integrated in there, not just slapped on, right? But really like as a part of the mechanic and a functioning aspect of the game.
There's a Madness at Midnight somewhere around that's kind of like that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a Richard Launius one?
That I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Not off the top of my head.
Sure.
All right, so yeah, my number 4 theme that I really like that I wish would be implemented in more games and used more is time travel.
Ooh.
I think time travel, like
Dan.
Anachrony, uses time travel and
The best.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like, how cool is it to be like the second turn and be like, man, if only like I could get some resources from the 5th turn. Like, yeah.
Oh,
So sick.
here's
It's
some
so cool.
resources
Like, I
from turn
really-
5.
yeah, I
I
just
hope
think
I
time-
remember to pay that back so there's no paradox.
Right? Yeah, and I just think time travel is a really cool theme, and I wish that more games would do things with that.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. And it's tricky, but I think
It is tricky.
I think Mind Clash cracked the code on it.
Yeah.
This is 4, right?
Yes.
My 4 is time travel.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't until I don't know.
No, it was.
Paradox.
Okay.
Time stories is another great way to do it. It's almost more of like a quantum leap.
Yep.
Like way of doing
Yeah,
time
sure.
travel.
I would still clearly call it time travel, but
100%.
yes, it's way more quantum leap. Yes.
Yep.
Oh boy.
But quantum leap is
Quantum
time
leap
travel.
is time travel.
Sure, I know. But, yeah.
No. But now you're that person now. Oh, I'm in a box.
Yeah.
All right. My next one is high fantasy, but like super high fantasy. Like Lord of the Rings is not high enough fantasy.
Okay.
I need dragons and
I was gonna say, is Dragonlance high enough? Is that
It's-
higher?
Keep going.
Right. Oh,
Sure.
I want Magi-Tech fantasy.
Oh wow.
I'm talking like Final Fantasy 6 levels of high fantasy.
That is super
Like,
high fantasy.
Super high fantasy. Like
That's like in an airship
Like-
flying around in the clouds.
I was gonna say Cheech and
With
Chong.
a guy named
so, but like you can easily mistake it for steampunk if you're not if the aesthetic is a little bit wonky. But
Sure.
like I want
and they
like
also
wizards
sometimes
and-
will like
yeah, it kind of blends in a little bit.
Sure.
But like Napoleonic era look with yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
that's
just
just
happened.
spiders.
Okay.
He sees them
Spooters.
sometimes.
Okay. But yeah, like people just casting magic like it's nothing.
Right.
Like to the extent like, okay, magic powers are, airships or are cars or, our car analog or what have you.
Mhm.
Like or like walkers and that sort of stuff.
Right.
But there's also like dragons with 50-foot wingspans coming around or like some sort of Cthulhu monster and titans and you just the kitchen sink approach
So
to
like
fantasy.
a cauldron.
Everything.
exactly,
Everything
yeah.
thrown in. Stir it up.
Just make it as magic-y and maybe goofy as possible.
Sure.
But like yeah.
Sure, as long as it all makes sense in that universe.
Yeah, as long as
Sure.
it's in context basically.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of theme that I want to see more of.
Yeah,
and
there's
don't get to
not a
see a
ton
lot.
of games that work like that yet,
Not
But-
yet.
but I bet there will be.
I
will
bet
be.
someday soon.
Right.
All right, Dan.
Yeah,
Oh
Dan.
yeah,
My
time
number
travel.
4 was time travel. Everyone
Yeah.
knows me. I'm Dan. It probably would be higher, except that I just haven't played very many time travel games. So I
Yeah.
just don't think it's fair for me to say this is like one of my favorite mechanics in games when I've played like 2,
Yeah.
maybe.
Sure.
Like
There's
so
not really a lot of them with that.
Yeah,
But I think there
exactly.
should be more, and I think it's a really neat.
I think it's hard to do.
it is very
right?
hard to do correctly.
So yeah, so time travel though, just incredible. Whether it's something like Time Stories or something crazy like Anachrony, which I haven't been able to play yet, to where you're paying yourself back. I love that. Like one of my favorite cards in Betrayal at House on the Hill is where you draw a card and you get to draw. It's like you see yourself in the mirror and you reach through and you give yourself an item. So you draw a random card from the item deck, but then later you might draw a card that says you see yourself in the mirror. You have to give up an item card, back to the discard pile because that's you paying yourself back
Nice.
from earlier.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that kind
Yeah.
of
Such
stuff.
it's
So
such
cool.
a neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 4 is a game. I'm aware of 2 games in this theme, and I've only played one of them.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Mad Max.
Yeah.
I love post-apocalyptic,
Yeah.
like Road Warrior
Yeah.
stuff. I've
Nice.
never played Wasteland Delivery Express.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like I should because I feel like that's a game I'm going to
Yeah, but
like.
you're talking
You're-
about Defenders of the
But
Realm or
Defenders of the
whatever.
Last Stand
The Last
that's
Stand
what it
is
Yeah.
the Mad Max implementation. There's mutations. There's gangs.
Mutations are good.
Mutations are good, Patrick.
Yeah. Thanks.
Patrick.
yeah. No.
What could go wrong? Oh,
Yeah.
Bob dies. We lose.
Yeah. That was fun.
That went wrong.
It's like 4 turns in, 5 turns in.
But that does it very well. But I want to see more. And I haven't played Gaslands, but that's almost more of like a tabletop game
It
more than a
is,
board
but-
game.
Yeah.
But
back
it's
to
almost
that
like a
discussion.
miniatures game, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, it's just a theme I really love. I feel like
Yeah.
there's a ton of room
to
for
make
games.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
And you could do all kinds of games, whether it's worker placement or
I mean, Outlive
Yeah.
is sort of post-apocalyptic, but it's not really Mad Maxy.
yeah.
Sure.
I think it's maybe just again because I'm a big fan of movies,
Right.
like in that Mad Max aesthetic is so intense.
Thunderdome, the board game.
Well, as long as it's like the first half of
listening.
Thunderdome
Yeah.
and not the second half of Thunderdome. All right,
2 minis enter, 1 mini leaves.
exactly.
Yeah.
I am Master Blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we're like there, we're good.
All
But
right.
once he leaves and finds the kids,
Yeah.
see you later.
All right.
Give me
so,
Tina Turner.
Yeah. Right. My number 3, Colts.
Oh, nice.
Would I join a cult?
Okay.
I love Colts. I love
Yeah,
like
Patrick.
Evil High Priest is a great one
Yeah.
example of it. But yeah, just I love that whole dark
Man,
like
that dark.
Yeah, the dark
theme.
Bob, I'm starting to realize why we're friends.
Yeah.
Like, I've always questioned in the past videos, but this video is cementing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I'm starting to get it now.
Wait a minute. Why weren't we friends when I had Colts?
He was thinking about time travel. Too much.
It was. Yeah. No, and again, I think that there's still a bunch of room for games you could do.
Yep, for sure.
With some Colts. Actually, I'm looking forward to playing Colts of the Deep or with the.
I think it could be a cool like cultish skirmish type thing, right? Where your cult has its own asymmetrical deck with powers that are relevant to your whatever you're following
your entity.
Yeah, and you're just battling cult versus cult. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of stuff you could do.
That'd
Oh wait,
be
Cthulhu Wars.
sick.
Mostly, yeah.
That's right. But no, you're right. I mean, there's different ways you could implement it.
All right, so my number 3 is Weird West, which is different from Wild West.
Deadlands, baby.
Deadlands, yeah.
I do like
You
the
know what's
Deadlands.
good?
I'm a Deadlands fan.
Weird West incorporates more than just steampunk, right? Because it also
undead.
is like ghost, and obviously it takes place in-
Hucksters. You got some magic. You got zombie. You know, you got monsters.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically of a book series called The Buntlines that started with a movie or novella called The Buntline Special.
Okay.
Where it stars Doc Holliday, and he gets into a scrap with Johnny Ringo, except Johnny Ringo has been dead for several days.
Nice.
Because he comes back, and like so that kind of again steampunk kind of works into it. But it takes the Victorian out of the steampunk and puts it in the Wild West.
Yeah, the
'cause-
Old West, man. There's it's good stuff, and it's again like you said, Weird West, and I went right to Deadlands.
That's what I thought.
And Deadlands is such a great like role playing game
Yeah, it's
system,
good
and
theme,
the setting and the theme is so good. 'Cause
I
you can
actually-
play it straight.
Yeah.
You can play it just Wild West and have none of the extra stuff. But man,
Boring.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're lame.
Great with his electricity gun.
But
yeah,
no,
crazy
it's like
mad
I want Bat
scientist.
Masterson to turn into an actual werebat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
There's your kicker.
Cool.
it's so good.
Yeah, I like
so
it.
Love
good.
it.
Weird West, I'm in.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Get some mechs in
Yeah.
there too.
Throw some Colts in there.
there you
My
go.
number 3 is a really basic one, but I just feel like it's hard for people to, from my experience, for people to do it and not make the game boring, from my experience, right?
Okay.
And that's just political intrigue.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So Twilight Imperium 4 and Game of Thrones are the two big ones that come to mind for me, but that
Sure.
kind of thing to where it's a lot of like talking about secretly whispering to people about what you need and back alley, conversations
Deals.
and stuff like that, back alley deals, and stabbing people in the back constantly.
How
And
dare you stab me in the back? I was going to do that to you next turn.
the thing I love about political intrigue is just what I'm calling it is like they almost always have to do with combat, and you almost always never want to resort to it. Right?
Right.
Like you're always trying to
threats of
make a
violence.
deal so that you don't have to fight someone, but that deal still has to benefit you somehow.
Right.
And if you come out on the bottom side of that deal, you're like, fine, I guess I will send all my guys to die because you just upset me. And I like that. And I have played a couple of games that try to do stuff like that just tend to be boring, right? Because it's just talking. A lot of it is. And that's why I'm so surprised that like
We need to play
TI4.
Dune or Diplomacy.
Dune is literally number 2 on my need to play list right now. Trust me, I know. It's The Thing
We just have to take a
and
day.
Dune. Those are the
We
two
just
games.
have to take a day because Dune will take like several hours.
I know, it will.
Gentlemen, we shall talk after the show.
Okay, good. But yeah, so this one's very basic. I'm just saying political intrigue. I love it when it draws you into its universe and you're really like having those conversations like, okay, everyone take a drink break, and you're over there and you're just like, Tim, what is Bob doing over on that planet? Like, we cannot let that... Like, when it draws you in like that and you're talking about the game like it's actual politics and stuff, I'm like, I am sold. There's a reason TI4 is my number 1 game of all time. No game makes me talk about that like that, and I love it. So that's my number 3.
I get that experience a lot out of the Game of Thrones.
That's
board
what.
game.
Yeah, that was the other one I mentioned. Yes,
Yep.
definitely. I think TI4 is stronger, but it's definitely there in Game of Thrones.
Sure.
I feel like the reason it's stronger in TI4 is because in Game of Thrones, it's not as bad to resort to combat. It's bad.
Sure.
Like in TI4, you're like,
can be
you're like, please
devastating.
please don't fight me.
It can be devastating. Sure. So my number 3 specifically. So I love science fiction, but like sci-fi horror
Ooh,
Sure.
yeah,
is like my Jam again. I know. Again, movies that I love.
That's my honorable.
But like
mention.
Alien, you know, so any of the Alien themed games, Nemesis, the Thing, I count as sci-fi horror.
Yeah,
I even count, and again, this isn't as horror to some people, but I think if you play it in the right mood, it is. I talked about this on a different video. I love Betrayal House on the Hill. I guess it's not sci-fi.
It's not
horror.
sci-fi.
I wrote that under thematic horror, but
right,
you're right.
Right, and I could have
colony on the hill.
Right.
I'm
there you go.
the sci-fi one yet,
There you
actually. Betrayal at the dome on the Mars.
Yeah. Honestly, I could have picked any like horror theme and been like, this is the one. But I just kind of zeroed in on sci-fi horror.
Sure.
Yeah.
There are some good games that are out there, but I always kind of want more. Like, give me some more. Give me some like, oh crap,
That's
how
why,
bad is it going to be if I walk into this room?
That's why I know it's just an honorable mention, but that's why I worded mine as just thematic horror, and I was going to figure out what I could do from there. But because then I can talk about Nemesis, and I can talk about Betrayal, and I can talk about all that stuff that falls under there.
Right.
Because when they nail the theme and you're scared to go in that room, or like you walk in the room, the door locks behind you, just like I'm dead. Like I just
guys.
You don't beat that feeling very often.
Right.
I see we're in Ravenloft this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So sci-fi horror is one that I just love.
Yep.
I love horror themed games anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent.
So my number 2 is probably my least, I guess, themed.
Okay.
Bag builders.
It's almost, you know, well, it's funny you say that because one of those words is part of what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Civilization builder.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so
that
that
was
kind of a
another
theme.
No, it's definitely a theme.
It
It would just be like civilization
Yeah,
games,
like
right?
history of the world, you know, like
Right.
something like that where you're playing through like different eras and whatnot. Civilization games. Yeah, like give me a
Through
tech
the
tree.
ages,
Give me like people like, you know, upgrading throughout the time. Then I
Cool.
dig that stuff. I really enjoy those. Mhm.
Yeah. Magnus Rex.
Magnus Rex, yeah. Lots of those types.
Good stuff.
You mean Dune?
Dune.
Dune. Yeah. Good stuff.
Quit that.
I was just saying, isn't? Oh, that's Rex. That's the
Yeah.
game that's
Not
like,
just
Dune.
Rex. Magnus Rex.
It is. I was right. Okay. I've
No,
never
Magnus
played it.
Rex.
Magnus Rex is the
Oh, Magnus
Brian-
Rex is that one. What
Brian
am I saying?
Lemler brought
Rex
us-
is
Rex
the
is the one
Rex
that is
is the-
basically
That's what I was
Dune
making a
is
joke
the-
about.
Dune reskin.
But you're right. Magnus Rex is that we still need to get a full
a full
playthrough.
playthrough.
of
We haven't
it.
done the full playthrough.
I'm
yet.
dying, but that's another one that like like a 5-hour game, like depending on player count, of course.
Correct.
Like,
yeah, and I'm hoping with that one house rule that we talked to him
Correct. That'll
about
speed
will
it
help
up a
speed
bit.
it up a bit.
Sure.
What's the house rule?
So there's a thing where you're normally producing, and when you roll a die, and that's what you get. But
That's
sometimes,
what, like,
sometimes
everyone-
for everybody,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
But then sometimes like you don't get science. So if you don't get science, nobody rolls a science thing for 5 rounds, and nobody is progressing through the science track.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's
So-
a way to end the
Correct.
game
so-
also.
correct. And so one of the things that we
Got it.
suggested is when it's your turn, because everybody rolls the die and produces that. But what we suggested is when it's your turn and you roll the die, you can pick one thing to focus your civilization on, and then you still roll the die and everybody gains that one. And that way you can still focus your empire on what you want to focus your
You at
empire
least
on.
like in a 4-player game, then you at least a fourth of the game resource wise, you are choosing what you're getting.
Correct.
Got
You
it.
think you'd be able to dictate
And you're not
which
stalling
way-
out either.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
most of it. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
I want to be a game designer. Look me up.
Me too.
Comment
I have
below.
plenty of game ideas.
So number 2 is my Civ Builders.
Right on.
So-
Okay. My number 2 is another slash one. Dinosaurs / Kaiju.
Oh,
okay.
sure.
What was the first word?
Dinosaurs.
Oh, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I thought
Like
Kaiju would be the one you
Apex.
get hung up on out of it.
Yeah.
So-
That's funny.
I'll
What's
talk
a
about it later.
dinosaur?
Yeah. What? Yeah. This is kind
Have
of
you
a
not
two-way.
met Spencer?
No, that's like that Shia LaBeouf joke where the guy was introducing Harrison Ford and Shia LaBeouf, and he said, "Today we're introducing Shia LaBeouf and Harrison." I thought that joke was hilarious.
That's funny.
So the idea, dinosaurs, obviously, I love it because there's lots of things that are out there that 4-year-old CJ and 34-year-old CJ just are still synced
Have in
up on.
common.
Yeah.
Right?
Dinosaurs / Kaiju because I want, a park, like
Oh,
Dino
yeah.
Park sort of thing.
Okay.
So instead
Or,
of Dinosaur Island, have Kaiju Park.
yeah, kind of.
There
That'd
you
be
go.
sick.
Yeah. Oh, Monster Island.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
that'd
you
be
know it?
definitely.
But so
busting out
like
of there.
part of it is I just want to collect all these and these are cool. The other part is I want to rampage with them.
Oh,
right.
Sure.
Dinosaurs or kaiju, either I'm collecting them, either I'm being one, or either I'm wrangling them up out of
Yeah,
just
totally play dinosaur
that
now.
I
sort
want to
of thing.
play. I want to play a game where, like,
Mhm.
more than just what Rampage or Terror Meeple City is. But I want to play a game where you play as a kaiju, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get to just go through and wreck a city and get the most points. And not just King of Tokyo.
Not as random where you're flicking the things into it.
Right,
like
right.
One.
I mean, that's
actually,
fun.
But actually have a dude, like a mini
is that
on
what
map.
that is?
Yeah, it's fairly similar to that. You gain power by crushing stuff.
How's it play?
Well, there's a whole video on it on the Miniatures Rundown.
I believe I commented on it.
I believe you did.
I commented on the unboxing of it.
Yeah, I think you commented on the unboxing.
So did you? By the way, speaking of, did you see Spencer's unboxing of Apex and everything? And what'd you think of that?
It's
like cyborg
It's a deck
zombie
builder.
dinosaurs.
There's no
I was just looking at that like.
Okay, just wondering.
minis. Yeah. Even without the minis?
Yeah, that was kind of the
Mine has one mini.
yeah.
One mini?
One mini. It's
One.
got the T-Rex
There it
mini.
is.
Yeah, I would have been much more interested had there been minis in it, but I was still like,
Yeah.
Right.
You still get like kind of like mount biogenetics on.
It's nice to have
dinosaurs.
somebody like out mini fanboy than us, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
usually we're like the
Minis guy, yeah.
minis guys, and now it's like, oh, we've got somebody that's more than us.
yeah.
right.
But yeah, so back to final topic. There's a game called Giga Robo that I kickstarted a while ago, and they're trying to get Giga Kaiju off the ground.
Okay.
So it's minis and Stompy Robot,
sure.
and and it's like, oh hey, it's just we just call this CJ bait. Okay, got it.
Yeah, right. Like, just cast the line out. Here we go.
But yeah, so I don't care if I have to capture them. I don't care if I get to be them. I don't care if I'm just managing a park full of them.
Yeah.
I want games with dinosaurs or kaiju or both.
Sure.
Because they overlap. If I have to pilot a robot that wrangles them up, great, cool, even better.
So I'm guessing you haven't played Dinosaur Island then.
Not yet.
Because you're literally like using DNA to make dinosaurs, but you have to keep your security level a certain level because otherwise they break out and eat your people that go to your park.
Yeah, worker plays that game.
Yep. No minis.
Dan hates the art.
Fantastic
but it's fun,
dice.
but it's a great game.
Man,
Okay,
components
no.
are pretty good.
Okay,
Cool
well,
air
there's
play,
your
bro.
problem. No minis.
Well, there's
They're
some dino
technically
minis.
There's dinosaur meeples.
Yeah.
They're not minis. They're
They're
meeples.
meeples.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
There's that.
No
again.
This is a no meeple zone.
No
like,
meeple
you
zone.
see this? This invisible
Meeple
line.
free.
This is a zone where no meeples
Zone.
cross.
Yes. Finally, somebody stabbed Dan.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. What's your number
Knife is
2?
Yeah,
full
number
of
two.
backs. What?
What? Your
My
your
back is
knife is
full
full of backs. That's right. Look at all these backs on that knife. That's
Dang
right.
it. See you guys later.
Oh, get out of here.
Okay, this is probably my weirdest worded one.
Wait, I thought the previous one was your weirdest worded one.
Huh?
They just get weirder every time.
Get weirder every time.
No, I said the last one was the most basic one, political
Oh,
intrigue.
it was the first one that was the weird word one.
Yeah, that is kind of. Anyway, this one is the weirdest worded one to me because I wasn't sure what to call this, so I'm calling it. I know the first one's going to be a mechanic, but it's also a theme. Is cooperative occupation job, right? I don't know how to word this. So what I
That
actually
is
wrote
very
was
weirdly worded.
cooperative real job, but I'm going to say like occupational, right?
Like smartphones?
It's
So
weird
the
'cause
thing,
my
no.
job's supposed to be cooperational, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels more like a
I
player
know.
versus player.
I know. No, so the two that, so for examples, the
Adversarial.
two that came to mind for me were U-Boot,
Okay.
right?
Oh,
and
I see.
XCOM.
I see.
Okay.
Right?
So simulators.
you're all, yes, kind
There
of,
you go.
yes. Honestly, I almost wrote simulator, but
Sure.
they're not all usually as heavy as,
Sure,
like
sure.
that. I'm having trouble thinking of examples, but I've played a lot of these, and I tend to like them. XCOM is a more lighter one, but still a little heavy because it's timed and everything. But yeah, we're all on the same team. We're all working for the same corporation, doing the same job. We all have asymmetric abilities and stuff like that, and how can we all work together to do this best, right? Like even Endangered kind of falls under that, but it doesn't feel as
So
hardcore
cooperative?
thematic. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of cooperative, but they're not always like, I'm saying specifically when we're all working for the same corporation or something like that, because they don't all fall under that. Or they're not as strong like that. Like Pandemic, we're all working for the same thing, right? It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't matter. In U-Boot, you feel
in
like
the-
you're in a
yeah.
submarine.
Yeah.
I am this character. You are this character. We are working together to do this, right? And it might honestly just come down to how powerful the asymmetric abilities are and how
Sure.
asymmetric you are. That might be where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in Pandemic, you have that one ability that's cool, but it doesn't matter that much, right? A lot of games like that, Flashpoint, Dead Men Tell No Tales, a lot of them are like that. Doesn't matter as much. So yeah, I really like games. I'm currently one of the games I'm trying to design right now is kind of like that, where we're all part of a space team and we're all trying to complete objectives together. I've talked to Tim about this a little bit. Speaking of Tim, there's a game on Kickstarter right now that has the
no.
exact same theme as the
no.
game I'm designing, and even uses some of the same dice mechanics.
Oh, no, we
that
gotta-
are that were like unique. I came up with these dice mechanics, and they have like the same symbols on the dice. And I'm literally looking at this on Kickstarter like, wow.
Damn.
What are the odds?
Somebody's spying on you.
Yeah. But no, it happens.
I'm listening to you talk about all these corporation games, and I'm just sitting here like growls and anti-capitalist.
No, whatever. I don't know. It's not a corporation, right? XCOM, you're working. You're working anti-alien, right? And you're all saving the world. And U-Boot, and you're literally a submarine.
Growls and anarchist.
Alien anarchist.
Yeah, there you go.
So those are the two ones that came to mind. I was able to write down. There's seriously so many more I just can't think of right now, and it's annoying me. But I love that where we're all part of the same business, super asymmetric. And it's difficult. Space Alert was one. I haven't played it yet though, but Space Alert's like that, right? Everyone has
where you have like the thing and like you're trying to like flip upside down.
No, that's Space Team.
Oh, Space Team.
No, Space Alert was like you're all on a spaceship and like just everything's going wrong and you're trying to like you all working on your little section kind of to try to make sure the ship survives. So that kind of stuff that I'm just calling
Captain Sonar.
Captain Sonar. Captain Sonar is a great one. Yeah, all working. I mean, similar to U-Boot.
Sure.
But yeah, so that kind of thing. I understand it's close to cooperative, but hopefully you can understand where that line I'm trying to draw is. Right.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
A little bit.
My number 2 is not as vague, and CJ will like it as well. It's Mechs. Like, I like games with Mechs in it.
You son of a...
GKR is like my favorite one.
Nice.
Galaxy Hunters looks amazing.
Yep.
So any game that can implement that system and
we
use
just did an unboxing for Galaxy Hunters.
What we did? Where would that be?
Oh, well, there's one here, and then there's one over on the miniatures rundown as well.
Boom!
So... Come check it out.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, Scythe even, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Scythe kind of crosses over and uses them in an interesting way.
Yeah.
And I just think that if you could get
enjoy Mechs
games that are not just
Robotech and
but if it was like a board game version, because
pushes Giga Robo at you gently.
Well, the ones that you talk about and describe a lot of the time, I feel like are closer to like Warhammer, which is more like tabletop gaming versus
guilty
tabletop wargaming, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because GKR does that in a box.
Yeah.
But instead of like assigning points, hey, we're going to field this many points of mechs, you're basically like, here's your mech. You're going to pick your loadout out of a deck. And everybody's got a unique loadout, so it's all asymmetrical, and then boom, you go.
Yeah.
And you play. So maybe a little bit faster. You could still sit at home and like look at all your potential builds.
Oh yeah.
Because that is some of the fun, right? Of the army building aspect.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Big time.
Of that, and like deck building, like same thing with Magic, right? You want to look and see where stuff combos off and everything. But man, I want more good games that implement mechs. I think it would be cool to have one where you're like a human running around a city and then the mechs are going around and you're trying to just not get stepped on.
I'm in.
Oh, sure.
Funny.
Almost like Mask of the Red Death, like avoid death as he's moving around. So the mechs are, you got an idea of where they're going to go.
Interesting, like AI controlled mechs that are like destroying the city and you have to like dodge the rubble and stuff like that.
Right. Maybe like a downfall of Pompeii, but the mechs instead of a volcano.
Yeah, there's a video game called what was it?
I don't know.
Give me a sec. City. It's not City on the Edge of Tomorrow because it's a Star Trek episode.
Yep.
It's City Underneath the Shadow, I think, or something close to that, where you are running from Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, Patlabor, and a couple of other.
Interesting.
As you are, it's exactly what you described, except it's IP'd.
Sure.
So it's a pure rally. IPs you don't care about anyway. But this is something similar to that would be super rad.
But you could just do, it doesn't have to be just I'm in the mech, right?
Yeah.
It could be any aspect of it.
Anything large and destroying things.
Right. Yeah, that's fun.
That's kind of like that The Boys show, right? Where it's like people dealing with the soups.
Right, right.
It's not so much about them, it's about the people dealing with all that.
There was a great Marvel comic in the early 90s called Damage Control.
Yeah.
And it's about the people that go around like cleaning up after the big boss battles, right?
Nice.
And everything.
Yeah. And there wasn't one of the movies with the Kaijus, maybe Pacific Rims, where they're like, the monsters are dead and they're gathering the resources.
Oh, yeah.
And things
Pacific
like
Rim specifically.
And there was, who was that? It had the Mr. Mom guy in it. And
Michael Keaton?
Yes. And he was, it was a Spider-Man movie.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's what
Spider-Man
Homecoming. Wasn't he part of Damage Control?
Yeah, he was part of Damage Control.
Yeah,
or Damage Control came in and was like,
took
over. This is ours.
Yeah. He was like subcontracted.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah.
And so they've like alluded to like Damage Control a bunch, but that old school comic was so good.
Yeah, for everything happening in those movies, there has to be a Damage Control business.
Right?
Because
if there wasn't after Avengers, I don't know what's going on.
They all just hate the superheroes, not because they're good guys or bad guys, but because they're always cleaning up after.
Hey, without those superheroes, they wouldn't have a job. job.
That's right. Superheroes are job creators. Okay, let's give them all the money.
Yeah, we continue. They continue to create jobs because they continue to destroy all of our infrastructure.
That's right. Rebuild.
Yeah, that's like
wonderful.
the arsonist going, I'm a job creator.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Please go on with your number one.
Oh, yeah. So my number one, is that to me number one already?
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Number
I would probably
one.
say,
Thanks.
I was going to say a large number, like 80%, but it's probably not quite that high. But a large portion of my games that I play are with this theme, World War II.
Oh yeah,
I love
I knew
World
this
War
was
II
gonna.
stuff.
I was gonna be shocked if this was not on
Yeah.
your list.
I mean, like I love movies. I like books. Everything. Like
Right.
I love it all. And Axis and Allies is one of my favorites. I cannot wait for Total Domination
Right.
to come out now.
You got
And
War Room.
I got War Room. Yeah, I love it. It's
What
good.
Bob's saying is that he's a dad from the '80s.
Yeah,
he just sits in a comfy recliner and reads books about World
books
War
about
II.
war.
Yeah.
That's right.
Smoking a cigar. Yeah.
But
Right. No, it's a
I enjoy
it's
it.
a solid theme, and there's lots of room for
Yeah.
really good games that come out of there, right?
Yep.
So, no, that's cool.
Yeah, I dig it. I almost said something when you
Super
said
easy.
World War II, and I was like, that's like my number one. But wait, because that's how lists work.
Yeah,
right,
that's
man?
how lists work. Good job, Bob.
I kept
Hey, you want
I kept my list straight,
Tim.
because
He's growing up.
Yeah.
I just got
He's
sick
a
of your
big
crap.
boy now.
That's how you do it.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. I'm
So
married. I
if
know
you're
how that
watching-
works.
It's like when I have a kid and then they start keep pooping, I'm gonna wipe it really poorly just so they'll go in the toilet sooner.
Yeah,
you know?
that checks out.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
anyway,
you don't
what
do
were
a
you
job
saying?
well, then you won't have to do it at all.
That
doesn't.
it doesn't work with kids.
Oh, okay.
Just shell shocked by that statement. Thank you.
So
Doesn't
I
work.
told Sarah, like, sometimes you just gotta let them put the fork in the outlet, and they're gonna learn not to do it. You know,
That's
you can tell them
true.
no, tell them no, tell them no, but until they do it themselves, they're not gonna learn.
Right, because then they will never repeat the mistake.
Exactly. They
'Cause
won't
they're
ever repeat that mistake.
So
All right, moving on.
the reason that
Bob
I had
doesn't have kids.
I don't, not
Uh,
yet. Yeah, or well,
Not,
maybe
it
I do.
ain't worth it. So the reason that I had such a strong visceral reaction when Tim said Mechs is number 2 is because they're my number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to anybody who's watching this video because I posted it in my Discord, which is called Prof's Mecha Hanger. Where
Got the point.
and if anybody is watching this because they saw my other YouTube channel where I talk almost exclusively about mecha anime, this should not shock you.
He's got
Yeah.
another point.
I'm wearing a T-shirt that has the Tallgeese on it.
Wow.
Like,
You've made enough points.
Okay,
yes.
he has all points.
But I should say specifically, I like games where it should be noted, dogfighting mechs.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm about. And since the term mecha is actually a catch-all term for anything mechanical, that includes X-Wing, that includes World of Tanks, that includes a game that doesn't exist because nobody in their right mind has made a dogfighting Gundam plastic model game yet. What the heck?
That's weird.
Yeah.
That seems like that would be ripe for.
It's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't IP mechanics, so yeah, you could
Right. Yeah.
you could build it the way you want and put whatever bones you want on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is that you can use like Warhammer mechanics and like,
Right.
oh, hey, this is how these Gundams fight.
Yeah,
But,
change
like,
one rule, and now you've got your own unique.
ta-da.
Did I say D6? I meant D8s.
Yeah. D8.
Oh, imagine that. A D6, that ubiquitous dice that everybody has.
Right.
Can't copyright that, sucker.
That's right.
But yeah, so and if you've been paying close attention to any of the other stuff that I've been
What he's saying is watch his other stuff.
It does seem like it.
well when I've been listing off my top here, I've made a note to drop the word mecha in every single one of them.
Right on.
So if you've been paying attention, give me mechs, give me dogfighting mechs specifically if we need
Sure.
specifics. But I'm with you there.
Mechs was good enough for
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
Dogfighting is really cool. There's actually a really cool game I saw where it's World War II, shocker.
Hey, there you go.
But it's the Pacific Fight, right?
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Japanese versus America, and it's dogfighting with planes and stuff like
Nice.
that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to manage your fuel, and you got to try to take islands and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
That sounds
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
I almost
Seems
picked it
like-
up, but
seems
I'm
like
so
aircraft
spread thin right
carriers,
now.
Very
on,
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like World of Tanks, I played it on the Miniatures Rundown because it's a miniatures game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it functions almost identically to X-Wing.
Mm.
So if you're used to X-Wing, you should check out World
Check
of
out World of
Tanks.
I am
Tanks.
Cool.
super interested in World of Tanks.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
well,
I could
there's
get my dad to play that with me.
Oh,
Or
right
something,
on.
Oh, there's a copy of the starter set right behind
I
you.
know.
You could borrow it.
I know.
I'm sure you. Yeah.
I
Anyway.
see my dad
Oh,
like
I
once
see
every
it.
6 months. So.
That's
Oh. Was that
All right, Dan,
pre or
what's your-
post-COVID?
Okay. So my number one is definitely the one that's the hardest to not just say a mechanic, because they all are this mechanic, but so like what theme do you say for it? So what I wrote isn't what I should say. What I should probably say is like werewolf, right?
Oh.
What I wrote was hidden evil.
Oh, because
right?
I said no hidden traitor.
Exactly.
There
It's
you
definitely
go.
the hardest one to not say the mechanic,
Sure.
because that's what the whole game is. But they
Sure.
obviously
So
all
you
have
like a
themes.
mystery, a
whodunit.
mysterious role, like
yeah,
a
like
whodunit
I
kinda.
like a big group of people, and we're all citizens. We all live in this village. Someone died.
Right.
You know, someone's killing people. Who is this? You know,
Yeah,
a mystery whodunit kind of thing. But usually more themed towards the horror side than like the Clue side, right?
Right, yeah,
But I've always liked these games. The simple fact is, yeah, you know, TI4, Nemesis, those are my top two games. But if I actually think about how much, like, just 100% of the time, every time I play these games, I have a good time. I'm always laughing. I mean, Blood on the Clocktower, like I said, that I've actually finally played now. I have watched probably over 1,000 hours on this game. I don't even know. I would say
insane.
close to 2,000 hours of. I mean,
Calm
I
down.
literally
Just stop.
Chill.
You've
A
already-
million hours.
a million thousand.
What's higher than that?
hours.
1 billion
That's
hours.
right.
But no,
A
like
billion and a half,
I'm
and not
telling
an hour
you, because
more.
I mean, one gameplay of it is an hour to 2 hours,
Right.
and
that's fair.
I watch so many gameplays while learning the game and stuff like that, and just while interested in the game. You go through hundreds of hours quickly, you know, doing that. And I've been
true.
watching for 2 years, you know, so
Yeah.
like it just builds up,
Ooh.
and I love just watching this game, you know. Even when I finally got to play, I was the storyteller. A lot of that is just watching. Like I am
Watching what people do with their information.
Yeah, exactly. Like I am playing. I do feed information to
Right.
try to balance the game as it's going on, but a lot of it is me just telling them things and then
Right.
sitting back and being like, how are they going to, like, I decide what I'm going to tell them,
need
and
to
then
do
how
this.
do they do that? Yes, a lot of this. I love it. And so, yeah, anything with that kind of theme, I have a 100% track record with loving it. And so I can't, you know, Wolves of Mercia,
Yeah.
Growl, Blood on the Clocktower, any of the werewolf games. I know Tim doesn't really like the One Nights kind of stuff. I love the One Nights
Sure.
and stuff, right?
Sure.
So like I have a
I guess I
100%
just prefer
track
the other
record.
style better. But
Don't
yeah,
get me
I-
wrong, me
I-
too.
I totally agree with you though. Like that is the social engagement in those kind of games is so much fun.
Yeah, you
I
just
love it.
talk.
But
and
you have
then
to
you're just
like those kind
you're
of
a
games.
liar.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, so I just call it hidden evil, but yeah, any kind of whodunit kind of thing where you're working together to find the few evils among the many. That
Sure.
is, I love that
Sure.
so much.
Filtering
Us.
evil.
Among Us, absolutely. Video game territory, but
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that game's a blast.
Yeah.
That game is a blast. So my number one, there's a ton of games with this theme. Not all of them are great, but like some of the weird ones or quirky ones are pretty fun. Superheroes.
Oh,
I'm a comic book guy. I movies and comic books, man. It doesn't even have to specifically be Marvel or DC. Sentinels of the
There you go,
Multiverse is a fantastic game. You know, like its
Heroes
own.
Wanted.
Heroes Wanted is so much fun.
Quirky.
Yeah, it's quirky and goofy. I mean, the first mission you play, you are stopping
up
a guy
trash.
from littering.
Yeah.
You know, and you're picking up trash with your weird cross-section
Split hero.
superheroes.
Yeah.
But I just love superhero games. I love. I haven't played Marvel Champions yet. I've got it, but I need to play it. But so that one might be the one that I'm like, oh, you know, this is it.
Sure.
But I mean, Marvel Legendary, I love. Obviously, I love DC Deck Builder. I enjoy even Thanos Rising is fun, like the
Yeah, I've
co-op.
actually heard
Great
good
little
things.
dice chucker.
Yeah, Dice Chucker. You kind of got your team, right? You're building your little engine and everything. Give me a really good superheroes minis game, but I don't want to have to.
The
paint.
Reckoners.
The Reckoners. I've never played.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's right. We
it's
played
good.
without you. We had a
hear
really
your
good time.
Yeah, he
Clicks.
showed up right afterwards. Didn't he?
Yeah, you
probably,
did.
you probably had more fun
Without you?
without me.
That probably.
Is that not what you said? Don't
Yeah.
lie to him.
Marvel Crisis Protocol.
I know,
Yeah.
but I don't want to paint them.
I know.
You have friends you know how to paint.
Do you have to assemble them?
Yes, right? I think you do.
I'll have to check.
I think you do,
Sure.
but I mean, it's easy assembly.
If there was a good entry point for that, maybe.
Starter box, you dweeb.
Yeah, I know.
Well-
I know, but it's an investment in the
Right,
starter
yeah.
box.
I just
and
want
then
everyone to
get-
do it like X-Wing.
Well,
I'm
no,
not even
actually-
mocking you. I do feel that.
I was way into HeroClix early on.
Yeah,
When
sure.
HeroClix first started 20 years ago,
Yeah.
I was in there like hardcore. I was
Yeah.
buying booster, like a case
Yeah.
of boosters.
It's hard to think about games you played in your 30s, huh?
That was Dan.
This is
box
Dan's
him
last show.
box him up in your basement.
All right. Well, we're replacing you with Spencer for
That's
good.
right.
That's cool.
But remember all the knives in the back? Like, there we go.
All the
There we
backs
go.
and the knives. Yeah.
All the backs of the knives. But yeah, like HeroClix, that was the appeal to me, and that was before I was like heavy into just regular board gaming. But like just out of playing Warhammer, because it's like I stopped playing Warhammer hardcore, and then this game comes out where they're pre-painted, not great, but pre-painted minis, and it's all superheroes and everything, and different and awesome IPs, and
All
the
that
stats are right
easy
there.
stuff.
Like, I mean, it just jived.
Yeah.
You know, occasionally you're rolling a die, you know, and it's like boom. I
Sometimes
loved it.
simplicity is nice.
Loved it. But I want more games like that. I would like a HeroClix that's not HeroClix, I guess. You know, I guess maybe Marvel Crisis Protocol
Maybe.
might be that thing. But I just, you know, you have your teams and like the way the factions work together was awesome. And you get that in the deck builders. There's a million
Pick a
ways you could
Thursday
go.
and I'll make it happen for you.
There's
We'll
a
do
million
this.
ways it could go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
This Crisis
superheroes.
Protocol is happening.
Right on. You got a bunch of stuff for it?
Not yet, but I will make it out. I've been
Needed a
wanting
reason to
to,
get
so
it
I need a reason
procrastinated.
now.
Oh, 2
yeah.
months play. Okay, cool.
Oh, somebody else wants to play this effing game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was at the point where it's just like I love all these minis. I want to pick them up. And
That's where I was at with X-Wing, right? And then Dan kept talking about how much he loved X-Wing. I'm like, okay. So I just
I
started
was like,
getting
you
a
know,
bunch of
Tim, if
X-Wing
you get
stuff.
them, you have someone to play with.
yeah.
Right.
Ta-da.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I will say though, I did say too, we could you could just test play with just my pieces, and he was just like, "Nah, if I'm gonna get into it, I'm gonna buy everything." So I'm
I would buy a bunch of stuff. Well, I like having the ships though too,
Sure,
right? I
sure.
mean, they're
Yeah.
nice pieces to look
no,
at.
I know.
Yeah.
But I
And
just
they're
have
well-
them on my shelf. You know,
unlike-
they're
Yeah, so I got a
stunning.
bunch of them on the shelf just sitting there.
Unlike
That's
Hero-
never
Always been that's
Unlike
always been my-
HeroClix, they're well painted. You know, I mean,
right.
HeroClix, you got like the you know, like
Yeah, they're not
sometimes
gr- not great.
the hairline comes
They
all the way
give it to, like,
down
a sixth
here.
grader to paint them.
Yeah, I mean, I could paint that if
yeah,
you wanted me to.
exactly.
Shout out to the one guy who got really mad at us in the comments. This is on the Miniatures Rundown. After sitting through a video called Dunking on HeroClix for about 15 minutes, who got really mad at us for dunking on HeroClix for about 15
HeroClix-
minutes.
So OG HeroClix, I can't speak for any of the newer
Yeah.
versions after they changed the rules. It was really fun. I really liked it. Sure, the paint jobs weren't great on anything, but if you're that hardcore of a painter, you could just paint it. Or,
Yeah.
you
Paint
know,
it, yeah.
you could just repaint it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
For me, it was good enough. You know, like and I still have some really awesome like Spider-Man minis that I thought were great
Well, there you
that
go.
they did. I mean, you know, you're like, oh, I really like this character, and the paint actually looks pretty good on this one.
Yeah,
So-
some of the old Magi-Tech ones are fine. I mean,
Yeah, Mage
they're
Knight
not
was
Pete
another
style, but
game.
they're still,
Right.
you know,
But
Well,
yeah,
we
so
can't,
the
we can't all be
bar.
perfect,
That's the bar.
right? Yeah.
that's
good bar.
the bar. So and that's our top 5. That's top 5 favorite themes. So what are some of your favorite themes, Dan? What
I
else?
just said 5 of them, and
Right.
I already mentioned my 2 honorable mentions because.
Well, no, but you usually like to say, "Tell us why we're wrong." What
Oh.
are your favorite
I
themes?
did have almost
Well,
an
he just
honorable
said-
mention kind of thing.
Oh yeah, give us an honorable mention?
I was gonna say Portuguese games.
oh,
I mean,
why?
I might be a little bit
Why?
biased about that,
Why,
but like
Bob?
Lisboa, it's a great
Sure.
game. You know, Azul. You know, these
Oh.
those little Portuguese tiles. Like that was a very popular thing in the back
I
then.
do like
Bob's
games about.
Portuguese.
I do like games about Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Does
is
that count?
Not Portuguese.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's a really good game about Puerto Rico.
yeah.
So far, I haven't played any others, but
that
was
one
really
was good. But no, there's multiple games like about Portugal because they've had some natural disasters and things to recover, and you know a lot of the Euro type games are
Sure.
based around that.
But yeah, right
I'm
on.
biased,
No,
yeah.
that's it's weird because I wouldn't even have thought that a theme, and then
Uh-huh.
you started naming stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, there are a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah,
games.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you could have gone like Mediterranean Trader. You know,
Sure.
'cause there's
I
a-
almost did Merchant, right? Because there's a lot
Sure.
of merchant themed
Yeah, yeah,
games
yeah.
Right, that you could play. And
yeah,
whatnot,
I mean, like seriously, Mediterranean is its own theme,
Yeah.
right? Concordia, there's all kinds of stuff.
viticulture.
there's a reason there's a game called Trading in the Mediterranean. You know?
Wow, that's just right on a little on the nose there. isn't
Yeah.
it?
Right.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
Mare Nostrum. There's a
I
ton
think,
of them.
yeah, honorable mention for me would be oh gosh, like Age of Piracy, Age of Sail.
Pirates.
I,
Yeah.
sure. I almost had
Pirates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't actually. 'Cause
That was
I guess more I mean like shot and powder sort of technology.
Right.
It doesn't specifically have to be like pirates, but
Sure.
like that
Yeah.
kind of
yeah. Because I was thinking if I was going to do Pirates, so I might do Vikings, and then it's like okay, now I'm just going into this whole. So I
Yeah.
try to just keep.
I guess the reason I thought you might say Pirates, especially over Vikings, is because there's not a lot of great pirate games.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
choosing that is interesting as opposed to Vikings every other.
Have you
game
played
is
Plunder
Vikings.
much more?
I've played it. I don't know, probably 5 times.
How is it? How's it? with every play?
I like it, especially after house ruling a couple things like I said I was going to do. I like it. It's dumb fun, right? That's all it is. Like the fact that Bob was able to roll 7 sixes in a row and turn the game on its head. Like it was like he was getting his butt kicked, and he was just like, I guess I'll win.
Yeah.
You know,
like, I need 6s.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Let me pull this guy out.
Right.
These aren't zeros?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, fun game. Probably the most thematic pirate game I've played, but there's so few.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess while we're doing honorable mentions, Gothic horror. I mean, Fury of Dracula, Horrified. There's a bunch of. I mean, just give me a good horror theme game. I'm in. I love it. I'm there.
Yeah.
But so find us on Facebook. Comment there. Comment on this video on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
we
do. Drive
unboxings,
engagement.
Kickstarters, all kinds of good stuff.
we do stuff.
We do
lots of stuff.
Lots of videos.
And, you can watch the poorly produced ones that I make at home. They have my kids running in and out of them.
Yeah.
But they're funny.
They're way funner than Tim is.
They're pretty funny and they're short, so you can just be like, let's get this over with.
Right.
If you really want to.
Right. Yeah, those are usually pretty short. Also, check out our friends at the Board Game Mechanics. They do a pretty okay podcast, and Jason's got a ton of videos up there, and he hates minis. So go tell him why he's wrong.
Yeah,
and his wife,
Katie,
Katie, hates space games.
Hates space.
She's also wrong.
How do you even do, like, guess what? You live in space.
Yeah, sorry,
You
sucker.
If there was no space, there'd be no Earth, there'd be no you.
Okay,
Grow up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Calm down. And then more
do you hate
importantly,
minis?
go over to the Miniature Rundown
Yeah.
and see CJ over there and comment on his stuff. Please. He's invaded us twice, so we're due to go over there soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
well, maybe
sit
one of
in.
them is going to be Crisis Protocol, so keep an eye out for that on the channel.
And I might even have to bust in on a bat. Like, let's watch this idiot paint something poorly, because I could do that and it may end up with more paint on my hands than on the miniature.
I wasn't painting my hand.
Whoops.
I have a perfect miniature shaped outline on my hand.
Well, lucky for you, the motto of the tabletop standard is "Don't think, just paint."
Primer counts, right, as a finished paint job.
It's a shadow version.
We'll talk.
What if it's not
painted the
technically
alien shadow.
primer? I just grabbed a bottle of spray paint. Just
Well, can you still see the mini?
maybe.
Just a big
Okay,
blob.
well,
blob.
we'll talk about that.
It's a blob.
All right.
So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for sitting through all of our shenanigans. I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
I'm CJ.
This has been the Board Game Rundown. Thank you for watching.
No, that's my favorite thing.
Oh,
Anything
Candy.
that ends in Andyland.
That's
Andyland.
true.
You like Dandyland.
Dandyland.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.